My legs don't work. My mom isn't far. If you can get me to her.
Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is The Last of Us episode 4. Last week was one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. It was so damn good. Oh, I swore in the intro. I can't use that. I'll cut that out. Sorry, YouTube. Please don't take away our money. Other than that, I forget exactly what kind of happens. I think this next part is going to be pretty interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
For a refresher, a lot of people are unaware. I know I understand the game, at least the first game. I don't know anything about the second game, but I know what's going to happen. Lindsay doesn't know anything because Lindsay gets motion sick when playing many video games, so she has been unable to experience The Last of Us. So she's fresh. She's completely fresh. She doesn't know anything. And yeah, we're ready to get into this. Hope you enjoy. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get uncut reactions for this show and many others. You can get better audio and visual, and our whole reaction unedited on patreon.com/Boldcast. It's linked in the description. Other than that, let's go. Intro at the beginning? Wait, does that mean that we're getting no backstory?
Or another entire episode of backstory.
Another feature-length film of exclusively backstory. It was loaded, like, I mean, I know there was but it was in the chamber the whole time. She's just playing around with it, pointing at it herself, and there's like one in the chamber, but she knows to take it all out. So that's
at least that's something.
And I noticed trigger discipline, not right now, but before when it was loaded, she had her finger out.
I would laugh if there was just
somehow
when there's still one in there, the glass just comes back and gets her in the eye.
Siphoning some fuel.
We have to do this every hour?
Gas breaks down over time. It starts almost water. Back in the day, we'd drive 10, 12 hours on one tank. You could go anywhere.
So where'd you go?
Pretty much nowhere.
That's kind of interesting. I never thought of it like that.
I really like the way they did these cars in terms of like the set design with the moss. It's a lot more realistic than just like the ivy. Like the ivy's a very dramatic look, but I really like this.
Okay. This is your fault then.
So the gun just shoots him.
No matter how much you push the envelope, it'll still be stationary. No pun intended. Volume 2 by Will Livingston. Volume 2. Look, you get it? 2? Like T-O-O? What did the mermaid wear to her math class? An algebra. Like, algebra.
It's actually a good one. I never
wondered where the sun went, and then it dawned on me.
Feel free to wait in the truck.
Okay, but just know, you can't escape Will Livingston. He'll be back. There's nothing you can do to stop him.
Such an accurate representation of someone who likes puns. They can't just do one. There's always like 5 in a row.
I got something. Here. This make you all nostalgic?
This is actually before my time.
Right.
It's a winner, though.
Got something else. It's light on the reading, but it has some interesting pictures.
No.
How do you even walk around with that thing?
Please get rid of it.
Okay, horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about.
Oh my god.
Why are all these pages stuck together? I'm just fucking with you.
That's such a classic. All the boats. Arby's. I thought they just mentioned Arby's because it was funny, but there's
Arby's. Oh,
there's clearly a brand deal or something with this.
Arby's.
It's the second Arby's reference.
Is it? It's like fast food, but like
it's sandwiches.
Oh.
It's as opposed to like burgers. Whoa. The train tracks.
Alright, that's enough for today.
Camp time?
Slow down.
This is slow. What am I even eating?
That is 20-year-old Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Not good.
I actually agree.
How many sponsorships do they get for this show?
I have to say, when I was a kid, I wanted Chef Boyardee so badly. Every time I saw any, like, people eating Chef Boyardee or commercials, I wanted it so bad. I thought that it looked like the most delicious thing ever, and then I remember when I had it, it was very underwhelming.
Did you have it with me, or was
I
that
think
a
I
friend's
had it,
house?
like, once before that, and it just didn't really taste like much.
Yeah, you weren't missing much growing up.
I actually agree.
I'm Joel. I love Chef Boyardee. My favorite.
How long are we staying out here? Because infected will see the smoke.
No, fungus isn't that smart. This is too remote for infected anyway.
People? So what are they gonna do, rob us?
Well, they'll have way more in mind than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She needs to find another book.
How can you even read it? It's dark. Like.
Oh, it's just flashlight.
Joe!
What?
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
You dick!
You go to sleep.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Those people you said. There's no way anyone knows we're here, right? No one's gonna find us.
No one's gonna find us.
Okay.
The music says otherwise.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
You don't like coffee?
What is that? Just being such a kid, just like, oh, gross, coffee? Oh, she's gonna drink some, just be hyper.
Those Starbucks in the queues he used to sell.
Well, theirs was a lot fresher than what Bill saved up, but yeah, this is what they sold.
Is this a fucking three ads? Three ads in the first 12 minutes? They're making they needed the budget for that. I mean, it paid off. The show's great. But
It was a lot fresher than what Bill saved up, but yeah, this is what they sold.
It smells like burnt shit.
okay, maybe this one isn't an ad, but it might still be.
Jasper. What's his name?
Whose name?
Your brother.
Why is her ear yellow?
Younger or older?
Younger.
Why isn't he with you?
Long story.
Is it longer than 25 hours?
Tommy's what we used to call a joiner. Dreams of becoming a hero. So he enlists in the army right out of high school. Months later, they ship him off to Desert Storm. That's what they called that war. It doesn't matter. Point is, being in the army, it didn't make him feel much like a hero. Cut to 12 years later, outbreak happens. He convinces me to join a group making their way up to Boston, which I did. Mostly to keep an eye on him, keep him alive. That's where we met Tess. And that whole crew, well, for what it was, it worked. And then Tommy meets Marlene. She talks me into joining the Fireflies. Same mistake he made when he was 18. Wants to save the world. Pipe dream, him, Fireflies, all of them. Of course, last I heard, he quit the Fireflies too. So now he's on his own out there, and I gotta go get him.
If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on? I mean, you gotta try, right?
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know. You keep going for family. That's about it.
I'm not family.
No, you're cargo. But I made a promise to Tess, and she was like family.
What if you don't find him?
I will.
How do you know?
I'm persistent. Got up pretty early if you want to grab more sleep.
I'm not even tired.
Ooh. Sketchy. Highway's blocked off.
Stay put.
I'm sure that there's a different way.
Real quick before we move on, that whole thing about how they got from Texas to Boston was never ever known, and I'm pretty sure that's probably like a canon explanation that they just never got to in the game, at least not as far as I know. Maybe there was like notes that you could find that alluded to that, but we know that Tommy and Joel got from down southwest of Texas to all the way up to the northeast of Boston somehow at some point. I didn't know that Joel, and a big thing about the show is that I didn't know that Joel and Tess were that close. Like, I knew there were allusions to some sort of sexual relationship, but like they seem way closer and way more of like a team than I knew. I thought that just with them going and visiting Bill and Frank's, like having dinner, like I didn't think that was the kind of relationship that they had. I thought they were just like hardcore work, like gangster types, like not really super emotionally intimate, but it seems like they kind of more were, and it seems like they knew each other for a lot longer than I thought. I thought they would have met like 10 years into the pandemic era or anything, like 10 years after the whole meltdown. But it seems like they were a way closer unit than I had any idea of. So maybe that's just me and I didn't put the pieces together. But
well, you also didn't play for yourself, so that could also be.
I watched like maybe 10 Let's Plays of it. So I'm not an expert. Yeah, like maybe if I played it myself, I would have a better idea. But yeah, I just didn't know. Anyway, so that whole thing of him talking about like this group and we were together and Tommy going to the war. Maybe they talked about Tommy being a soldier before, but I don't remember that. I didn't remember that part of Tommy's backstory. And also maybe there's stuff that's alluded to in the second game that I wasn't aware of. Oh, it's just so open, but there's just too much shit in the way.
I like how you can see what an absolute shit show this was when this went down, when this giant truck just blocks the way and fucks every other person in the vicinity over.
Yeah, nobody can escape. It's just, they probably all got bombed.
Where are we?
Kansas City.
How far back do we have to go to get around this?
Screw it.
What are you doing?
We can jog right around this tunnel, take the next ramp, and we're back on the road many tops.
I feel like this is gonna be a bad decision.
Right into town. They're going into the fucking city, dude. Detour. These sets, I mean, it's probably all
Highway.
I can't
CG.
tell from this. I'm all turned around.
or a lot of it.
Well, look at the state map. Look at the
I
inside.
don't know remembering that either. This is my second day in a fucking car, man.
This is my second day in a fucking car.
Second day in a fucking car, man. Stop. Is that the QZ? Where the fuck is Fedra?
Gone.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We're not helping you. Sorry, sir.
Put your seatbelt on.
Are we gonna help him?
No, absolutely not. Oh shit. Shit! Oh my god.
They put the trailer there, the big truck.
Oh
Are you okay? You're not hurt, nothing.
I don't think so.
no. Oh my god.
through. When I say go, you crawl to that wall and you squeeze through and you don't come out until I say. And they're not gonna hit you. Look at me. They're not gonna hit you. Stay down, you stay low, stay quiet. Okay. Go!
Iced him.
You motherfucker!
Don't look out. No.
Oh!
Got a gun.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's over. We're not fighting anymore. I'm gonna go home. I'll tell everyone you're good. I don't know what to do. My legs don't work. My mom isn't far. If you can get me to her, we can trade with you guys. We can be friends. I didn't know. I'm Brian. What's your name?
It's got really awkward.
Wait. You can have it. It's a good night.
Get back behind the wall.
No. I'm sorry. Please. We can just talk. I'm sorry. Please. No, please. No, please. I'm sorry. No, we can just talk.
Didn't want to waste the ammo, I guess.
Ellie, I gotta get in there. I can't fit through.
Jesus!
Against the door.
Let's go.
That's new. In the game, she just shot him, and it was he just died. That was
so much
hardcore.
worse.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I got some food in here still, and I got your light, so. What now?
You go up.
Did you get a better look?
Hopefully we spot a clear route out.
Jesus. I bet the truck still works.
Stay close.
Got it.
I feel like they could have at least grabbed his backpack so they didn't just have only her backpack.
That's a mean looking gun.
I was alone. I haven't seen any of those people since that night.
Huh?
What else do you want me to say?
I don't know, the truth?
Kathleen,
The Bergquists. No. Mark Anthony Halpin. Carrie Schreiber. Haven't seen them. The Chans. Henry Burrell. Okay. You know where Henry is.
The fuck is Kathleen?
Lawyer, medical attention, family visit. I wonder if this is the cell where my brother was beaten to death.
no, you were wronged. And I'm sorry. This has gone too far. It has to stop.
Civil War, I guess, and
They
It has to stop
like
now,
overthrew
you-
everything, I guess.
They put a gun to my head.
There. Have I satisfied the necessary conditions for you to talk?
For God's sake, I delivered you. I held you in my hands. I never told them anything about your brother.
But Henry did. And we know that he's still in the city. And I think that you know that too. What if I had a doctor?
There's no chance. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna cap him right now.
Open it.
Yeah.
Because she thinks
We
that
don't need a doctor.
she thinks that he's connected to these guys dying now.
Yeah.
This is Henry's
Getting all
work.
in like a conspiracy theory about it. It's not, has nothing to do with what's actually happening, but they're just so desperate.
I guess her brother died, and now she like was killed by Fedra or something.
Yeah.
Was
Probably,
for what reason?
Well, probably it seems like that they like overthrew Fedra, so probably before that, Fedra had her brother because this guy.
For what reason?
Like because they were planning to overthrow Fedra, and he got snitched on. Like she was saying, this guy was telling on all his neighbors and stuff. So then, in the end, they did win, but
At
so
what
and so and
cost?
so and so got killed along the way.
Yeah.
And now it's all a big conspiracy because some of the people who snitched on them are still out there. Mm-hmm. Who knows whether they are or if they're dead or if they've left town at this point, but
now they think that they're calling in
Yeah.
mercenaries to like get
Yeah.
them out of there or kill more people or something. But she's just people are turning on each other now.
This is Henry's work.
I don't think a lot of
Understand?
people are going to be
And he won't stop
buying this.
until we
I think
stop
everybody's
him.
gonna buy this. They're all high on fucking warfare. They just like
Understand?
overthrew Fedra.
And he won't stop until we stop him. Find every collaborator and kill them all.
Jesus!
Fedra and they're not fireflies, so who are they?
They're radicals, man.
People.
Are we okay in here?
For a little bit, maybe. Looks like they're checking out apartment buildings first.
I just wish that they freaking took the long way around.
They couldn't unless they backtrack. Like they would have had to backtrack miles. They would
Yeah.
have broke down or lost. Like they wouldn't have had any fuel.
I'm sure
it would have been better than this for sure.
Yeah.
But like you never know. It's hindsight.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Thing is, I didn't hear that guy coming. He shouldn't have had to. You know,
Well, you're glad I did, right?
you're just a kid. You should know what it means to. It's not like you killed him. But.
Like you killed him.
I know what it's like. First time that you hurt someone like that. If you, well, I'm not good at this.
Yeah, you really aren't.
I mean, it was my fault. You shouldn't have had to. And I'm sorry.
It wasn't my first time.
Show me your grip. Finger off the trigger. Now, who taught you that?
Fedra school.
Figures. Thumb squeezes down on the right. Got it? There you go. Look it. Okay.
Good detail. I thought he was just gonna leave that bullet on the floor.
Uh-uh. You put it in your bag. Shoot your damn ass off.
I'm getting all stressed out again. I have to go out.
That's an interesting thing too, because that whole scene, talk about killing people, that's also something that was not focused on in the game, because in the game Joel by this point has killed like 100 fucking people. Like he's like the tutorial scene is you killing literally like 20 or 30 dudes trying to find Robert to get like your pills back because he stole your pills. Like
this is like he's killed people for a lot pettier reasons than like them coming at you and attacking you.
It's just the nature of the game portion, like the fact that there's combat and it's like a part of playing a video game, that like the excuse was that Joel was just so hardened that he just didn't give a fuck anymore. But this Joel clearly cares a lot more about life in a more subtle way, being concerned about Tommy again, like I said in maybe the first or second episode, how he had completely given up on anything, on seeing Tommy ever again, or even trying to go find him or whatever. He didn't know anything. He wasn't keeping up with like what his area was up to or anything. So there's a lot of little things like that that seem to show that he has some compassion beyond just nothing. And that, you know, focusing on like, oh, I'm sorry you had to do that. That's like, it wasn't that big of a deal. But I'm glad it is, because it is a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Someone's been up here.
A little hideout. A lot of peaches.
They're out of food. Henry won't let Sam starve. Double the guards around our provisions. He's fucking close. I can feel it.
A kid.
Yeah.
Sinkhole? What is this? Huh? What the fuck is that?
I guess I don't know.
Is that a cordyceps thing?
When do we tell the others?
Not yet. Let's just handle. We can deal with this after.
Kathleen.
After.
What?
Seal off the building for now. Okay?
Did they like bury something down there or something?
Because they buried the fucking Chaos Emeralds? What was that? What is that? I don't know anything about that. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. This is a monster movie now?
Take a look around first. Ellie.
See, again, big reference to the game here. There's the boost up the other character mechanic. Hold square to give Ellie a boost so she can climb in the hole and then open the door for you.
Where'd you be without me, huh?
By now, Wyoming.
Yeah, walked into that one. We're going up 42 flights.
45. But no. Not all the way.
How far?
As far as I can make it.
His old knees. That would be the perfect place to fucking hide out. Because you'd hear if people are coming like so easily.
So echoey.
And there's so much space, so if you needed to escape and hide, you probably could find a way.
You know that guy who said he was hurt? How did you know it was an ambush?
I've been on both sides. It was a long time ago. We did what we needed to survive.
You and Tess?
And the people we were with. My brother, too.
Did you kill innocent people?
Come on.
yours. That's good.
It's gonna have to be.
She's just destroyed. Well, he also didn't sleep the last night.
Yeah.
Get up, you lazy ass.
Lazy ass. 56 years old, you little shit.
Talk to me when you got fucking arthritis in your knees.
How like a, or is it like
Apartment?
Yeah.
Thought it was like an office.
Yeah, I thought it was an office too. I was like, oh, too bad.
Oh, that's smart.
Joe,
What?
what are you doing?
I don't want someone sneaking up on us while we're sleeping.
Oh, I get it. You sure you're gonna hear it?
Of course I'll hear it. That's the damn point.
Oh, but you're 56. Your ears aren't what they used to be.
I do a little bit more than that. I put like some in front of the door. Oh, it looks so comfy compared to how they've been sleeping.
Hey,
Yeah.
when we were talking about hurting people, what did you mean it wasn't your first time?
Good question.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. You don't have to. I'm just saying. It isn't fair, your age, having to deal with all of this.
So it gets easier when you get older?
No, not really. But still.
The reason I asked whether you'd hear the glass or not is because I've noticed you don't hear too well from your right side. Is it because you were shot there?
Probably more from shooting. So if you want to keep your hearing, you stick to that knife.
Sleeps on his right side for that reason.
Joe, did you know diarrhea is hereditary?
What?
Yeah. It runs in your genes.
That is so goddamn stupid.
That motherfucker.
I know that.
You did.
Jesus, I'm losing it.
You're losing it big time.
That's nice.
Joel. Joel!
Oh no. Oh no. It's like you really did find the best hiding spot in town. That was already found by the other people that are hiding.
Damn. That's a crazy episode. What'd you
The
think?
next episode's gonna be really crazy too.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised. Like, I don't know if I'm surprised. I guess I'm surprised. Because they were keeping, like, okay, this part of the story, then this part of the story, then this part of the story. So, like, this was a lot of setup for, like, the next episode and possibly maybe the next one. Not sure. It's just interesting because, like, they kept, like, each episode is, like, based on a character. Like, the first episode was, like, Joel, and and a little bit of Ellie, and the second episode was all Tess and a little bit of Ellie, and the third episode was, like, Bill and Frank with a little bit of Ellie, and then this one is Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
With setup for what's to come next, so. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a great episode.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
A lot of bonding. I love the bonding. It's so good.
Shitty puns and just I really like that one at the end was actually really good. It's just bad jokes.
I love the setup too because, like, they're in the exact same shot.
Yeah.
Like the camera position and their blocking is the exact same from the previous time that she told a pun before they went to bed. So it sets it up perfect because they're talking about such serious shit and that you don't realize it's the exact same setup. So it's almost like a joke in itself. And then it just comes out and
like, and it's just like they're just having this super like heavy conversation, and then it just comes up with like this just a dumb joke.
Yeah.
I don't know what this.
What is this cordyceps sinkhole thing down there? I don't know what the hell that's about.
It seems like they kind of know what it is or have some idea if they're like, oh no, we shouldn't tell anyone about that. You know what I mean?
It must be something with cordyceps. That's the only thing that makes sense. Unless there's like a sinkhole and it's gonna like sink the whole town, and everybody's gonna die. And it's like some sort of commentary on I don't even know, like it just radicalism and like mob mentality and shit, if that's what they're getting into, because Kathleen is an anime original character so far as I remember. Maybe she was mentioned as like the leader of these people, but it was very much more focused on Joel and Ellie's journey through this part of the story. And again, like they were just running into all these guys who were just kind of assholes. Like I guess not assholes. I guess they were pieces of shit. In the game, you like are sneaking around and you see them like hunting down people like in the streets, like stragglers. That's why that truck with the run in front on the front is literally in the game. Like you see that and you're like, holy shit, this is sketchy. It's like some stuff out of Mad Max or.
Yeah, I guess in this, instead of just like running random people down, they have like made some very specific, like, okay, they're all going after these like this guy and his kid.
That part is the same.
Oh, okay.
The guy and the kid, that part's the same, but we didn't get the other side of this. They're escaping as well as has been alluded to, but
I hope we can work together with them and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm really angry that they lost their truck, and I kind of hope that they can get another one somehow. Or, like, steal one from these people, because they have, like, decked-out vehicles.
They'd be lucky to get out with their lives with the amount of firepower these people have and how trained they seem to be. They're pretty hardcore. Is it Ryan or Brian? I'll say Brian, because I thought it was Brian. Did you hear if it was Ryan or Brian? That was freaky. That was way more hardcore. Like I said, like you're playing as Joel, you're sneaking around, you're fighting a bunch of guys, and then you like open a door or something, or I think you're climbing up a ladder or some you're like in an animation to like enter the next area kind of, and then out explodes this guy who like fucks you up, and then you're struggling, and he's like there's a puddle and he's like drowning you, and then Ellie comes up and shoots him, and then it goes into a cutscene. It's just like, it's such a classic scene. She is like, you hear a shot, and then while you're still in gameplay, you're like mashing square to like try and get this guy off of you, and then Ellie, it goes cutscene, and Ellie's just like, holy shit, I shot the hell out of that guy, huh? And it's like such a classic moment. It's like, yeah, Ellie, come to save the day. But again, I think that moment is cool in the game because of the different tone of it being a video game, but in this, it seems like this is more like the kind of tone that they wanted to have for the story. Like, if they would have been able to somehow create the tension of combat and stuff like that in the game, maybe Neil Druckmann, and maybe it's a developmental thing, like in hindsight, you see those moments and you think about the story a lot more, and developing the second game and just sort of thinking about the universe in the last 10 years, they probably thought a lot about like the morality and everything, and reflected back on everything. And I bet they would, going back, they might have done something like this in the game of killing people is a big deal. It's not they're not just faceless red shirt enemies who you can just kill, and it's not okay just because you're on the other side. You know, you do what you have to do to survive. That doesn't make killing people all right. So then in that moment where it's just this, yeah, Ellie, you finally, you got your gun you were asking for the whole time, and you saved Joel, and you're not dead weight on this trip, and you're not just cargo. You're protecting each other now, and that's like a big developmental moment for their relationship. And it still is, but the weight of it is not lost on them in this, and it feels more powerful, and it's a lot more real, because people don't die one tap to a pistol round to the leg,
I was also gonna say,
or to the spine. I thought she pointed low. Anyway, sorry.
It's I feel like it's a lot more relatable for the audience who like aren't going around and, you know, killing people all the time.
Yeah.
That you know, it's a horrible thing to do. Like even Joel, it's like, yeah, sure, he's killed a bunch of people and been on both sides of a situation like this, but it doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah,
like he's not just like you were saying, like he has a lot more of like emotions, I guess, in that he's less
detached from reality in
and
this one.
I like it as well because it allows him to in this moment it clearly shows that he is very protective of Ellie, not just as cargo. Like he 2 seconds ago
the boundaries are beginning to
he's just like, oh, I don't care about you, but then at the same time he clearly does care about her. And I imagine it's a very similar situation for him to in episode 1 with his daughter. You know, they're getting shot at, and you have this kid here. Yeah. And in this time, he had the chance to, like, send her away and, you know, protect her in that way. But then in the end, he couldn't protect her from having to come out and help him.
Yeah.
So then he did, like, the most that he could have, you know, get back over there while he killed the guy, but it's, you know, that's not enough, and there's not really a way for her to escape that. And I think that's also the thing. It's like he's like, you're just so young, and it's like, well, she was born into this already fucked up area, so she never had the chance to like really be a kid in any type of normal way that he would think she deserves. That just doesn't really exist anymore. Mm-hmm. So that's, you know, the tragedy of it as well. Is and like she already knew how to use a gun because she was in Fedra school, regardless of whether she's, you know, out on this wild goose chase trying to get her to so-and-so, or whether she's in a quarantine zone. It doesn't matter because it's just not a nice place for anyone to be ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he probably is. Joel is probably reflecting on like, if is this what Sarah would have had to go through if she was alive? You know, like, you can't protect everybody all the time, and he knows that better than anyone. But he might be thinking, you know, Sarah died, and but like, what would it have been like if I was able to save her there, and then I had to watch this happen to her? Like, he just he feels the burden of that. I think in these moments where he was able to protect Ellie. He was able to protect Ellie, but he wasn't able to protect her from, you know, growing up in this world.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing as well to think about, that if he's thinking about, oh yeah, what if she was still alive, what if she didn't die, but he's telling Ellie like, oh yeah, I have basically been those guys and just attacked people who came into our area and like set up a trap for them. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, so you killed innocent people? And it's kind of like, yeah. And then it's like, I wonder, you know, if Sarah being alive would prompt him to do something like that more or less, because when you have someone you have to like explain yourself to, it's kind of a difficult and like it's just a sadder thing to think about. Mm-hmm. Because even though it is hard on him, it's like, oh well, kids shouldn't have to know about that in any way, but they kind of do, you know.
Yeah, think about how what he was talking about with Tommy and how their relationship kind of broke down because they clearly had to do shit like what was just described, where they have to kill innocent people and rob people and leave them for dead and do terrible, terrible shit. And that probably drove a wedge in their relationship, and that's why they didn't, you know, that's why you probably went off to join the Fireflies, maybe out of guilt for all the things that he did. And, you know,
it's like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to, like, if I'm going to be doing bad stuff, I want to be fighting for something.
Yeah.
Type of mentality, probably.
Yeah. And with Ellie, oh yeah, the magazine scene, that's a classic too. And the Hank Williams, I think that's actually the same song, I'm not 100% sure, but the similar scene with the magazine and the tape and everything, that's before my time. I think that scene with the tape was actually in the trailer of the game. This little sequence here, because they like put the music in, and oh, that's behind, it is a good one though, puts it in, and then she, oh, this magazine, I got this, and the whole time, yeah, anyway, I was gonna say something about the previous thing, but I won't because, anyway. Yeah, she's looking at the thing, goodbye, dude, throws the thing out, and then, I'm not even tired, and then she's asleep. That's a classic one. That whole little thing, I think, was maybe at an E3 showcase before the game came out or something in, like, 2012. And then, with them driving in through all these traps as they go through the town and shit.
I was gonna say, I mean, they don't have the truck anymore, so this is not a very good plan, but would it be good, because he got really scared about the people coming to get them and like stayed up all night. So what would have been actually a really good idea is if she, like, say they still had the truck and then she could just sleep in the truck during the day and then keep watch at night so he can actually sleep at night and then drive during the day.
Yeah. And that's I think that we might see more of that going forward, because that's kind of this whole episode is up until over the course of this episode, and there seems to be a shift between Ellie just being cargo and them being a team, them being like family, kind of more. The lines beginning to blur, because she was just basically some dead weight that she's been dragging along, and then she kills a guy, or in this case, participates in killing a guy and saves Joel from death. So now she's basically proven, and now she has a gun now, and she's basically proven that she can be more than just cargo, and they can work together on this journey.
And not only that, it's just that he has just been like trying to like not get attached to her this whole time, but now that they've been together for so long, it's just kind of unavoidable, you know?
Well, and he has trust issues too, but there's times where he has no choice but to have to trust her, because he's been, close to death too, and without her he would have died this episode. So he's beginning to realize that, and that's again something that is very pronounced in the game. With there's still a focus of like, I think he says something like, I wish you shouldn't have to be killing people, you shouldn't have to be doing all this stuff. And that's still a consideration. It's just way more focused on in the show here, so that's still a consideration. Those conversations still kind of do happen, but not to this level. Where was I going with that? But yeah, just having to depend on her is a bigger deal for him if you think about him not having as much compassion or as much like reluctant hope, you know what I mean? Like how he wants to, he still has that like humanity left in him, and whereas in the game it's a lot lesser. So he was way less, and again, the relationship with Tess and the relationship with Bill and Frank was not as strong. Like he didn't have these relationships with people that he had formed over the course of the last 20 years. He was just a husk. He was so. Him learning to trust Ellie is a way more. It's way more of like a journey for him, because he started at such a lower level of humanity in the game, whereas in this one it seems like it's cyclical. Like he's still kept going a little bit. It's definitely, I mean, he's still broken and lacks trust and is very hardcore and everything, but he didn't. It's been less of a pronounced and notable change, but this episode did a good job of showing that there was indeed there is indeed a change in their relationship, and that by the end of it, they're more of a team. And she wakes him up. She stays up and keeps watch, like you said.
Well, she didn't.
She didn't. But like, it's rather than he stays up all night going for watch, whereas he trusts her and the whole situation. Like he sets it up so that they can't get snuck up on, and he can kind of he's a little bit more settled. He can fall asleep at night, and not be so stressed out. Yeah, so just the mirroring from the start of the episode, it tells a real good story and shows the development in their relationship really well, and I think it's really good. And also highlighted when he was sleeping there at the end, or when he woke up. It's really highlighting like his watch. I don't know if Pedro Pascal is doing that with like the way he's kind of huddled up, if he's putting his watch hand like really close to his face, or if that's a direction thing, or if it's a choice on his part, or if it's just unconscious. But it again reminds you of his connection to Sarah and stuff like that, and what this all means to him, which is good.
I was also gonna say I really like that they didn't do a longer episode this time.
Yeah,
because I feel like so far every episode has been like the perfect length for the content of that episode. Like I feel like this one, if they had stretched it out to an hour and 15 minutes, or even just an extra 15 minutes on this episode, I don't think would have improved it in any way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the pacing, they told this story of them trusting each other more and becoming a team. And then they cut it off at the end so that the next episode can be about something else, can be about these new guys that they've met. And, you know, escaping this place. So I really appreciate the attention to detail, and I feel like it's especially good for new watchers, so that every time you're watching, you're not only strung along by, you know, knowing what's coming next, or like having a previous connection to the story. It's very digestible, because every episode is just exactly what you need for that part of the story, and you still want to come back and see the next thing.
They can take their time if they need it, but if they don't need it, then they don't stretch it out for no reason, or just because there's constraints for, you know, HBO's runtime requirements or whatever when they're airing it on cable TV or whatever, satellite or whatever, you know, with the ads, because a lot of times that's why episodes are a certain length. But I like that this is made for streaming. This is one of those cases where it's actually a good thing. A lot of times TV being made for streaming services it's been a real weird growth period for over the last like 10 years or so, because like if you look at Netflix series and other things, it's just the format has completely screwed up the way that people write reveals and write cliffhangers for the end of seasons and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of growing pains and stuff like that. But there are advantages to it, which are, you know, like I said, the runtime. You don't have to stick to, you know, to have a certain amount of minutes in order to run ads. And it looks like this show's really finding that, and maybe it's an HBO thing, because HBO usually doesn't give a shit about stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. It's just good. It's good that they have a story they want to tell. The episode it only needs to be 45 minutes long, so we're not going to make it 52 just because. Or we have a story that's like really in depth and self-contained, and we want to take an hour and 12 minutes like last episode. Let's just do that. And with
the first episode being extra long, like I feel like I appreciate that in a show so much, because that just like the attention to detail is just so good. Every episode so far has been a different length of time.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, because it also, I don't know how many episodes this season is going to be, but I'm sure they have like worked that into it to decide what exactly needs to be in each episode to get this amount of episodes, and every single one is super satisfying and great, has like this amount of this amount of that, this reveal at the end, and then, you know, you keep going. So yeah, I really like that.
I bet it's gonna be about 10. If I had to guess, I think it'll be 10. I bet, like, knowing kind of what happens, they probably could go 8 if they wanted to. But I think going to 10 would give them the best amount of stuff. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Subscribe.
Leave a like and subscribe. Bye-bye.